Okay, so we are here with Megan. Megan, how you doing today?
I'm doing all right.
Okay, so how old are you?
38.
How long you been on the streets?
It'll be 3 years next month.
Okay, so what brings you to the streets?
Basically, I had warrants and couldn't work no more, and I caught my first felony, and I ended up running with my warrants, drugs, same thing everybody else is out here for.
Okay, so where did you grow up at?
Mount Vernon, Ohio.
So how was your childhood? Tell me about your childhood.
Well, I've been around drugs my whole life and been using since I was basically a kid almost, so.
What age did that start at?
I was 12.
You were 12 years old?
Yeah.
What about your parents? Were they?
Both of them was, yeah. Mom, not so much, but Dad, yeah, he used to get high with me and my brother, and yeah, since we were old enough to want to.
So they were cool with it?
Yeah.
So when did you come to Columbus?
About 3 years ago.
3 years ago, and you've been here ever since, and
yeah.
Do you ever plan on leaving?
Oh yeah, eventually. I finally got off probation last year, and I assumed that once I got off probation and didn't have warrants anymore, I'd be able to just bounce up out of this, and it's not that easy. I'm still here, so.
So being a woman and on the streets, how has that been for you?
Oh yeah, it's different. Like the men, they can be out all night long and go anywhere they want, really, but women can't do that alone. And I'm lucky I've got my husband out here with me, and he takes good care of me. But there's a lot of people that don't have anybody, and they're just single females out here alone completely. And I've seen all these women out here go through some shit. I got shot 2 years ago, walking down the alley, minding my business. It was a stray bullet, and it just popped my back of my leg out of nowhere.
So when you got shot, did you lay in the alley?
Oh yeah, I had warrants. I didn't go to the hospital. We tried to deal with it ourselves, and I still have a bullet in my leg. It took 11 months to heal. Yeah, it sucked. It was bad.
So it's still there?
Oh yeah.
And no infection? You were able to keep them?
No, it was infected for a while. It took 11 months to heal, just before before a scab came off of it, and it was just a scar, and it hurts really bad still, but normal people that get shot have a little tiny hole in their leg. I've got a hole about 2 inches wide.
So what age did you leave school?
I left school when I was 17.
So you never graduated, never thought about going back?
No, I didn't graduate. I got my GED though, and I actually became an RN, and as soon as I became an RN, I caught a felony, so.
So you did prison time?
Yeah.
How long was you in prison for?
18 months.
Tell me about your experience in prison.
I was in prison in a different state. I was in Arizona, so I knew a lot of people out there, and for me it wasn't too bad, but I'm glad I just knew there's a lot of people out there, because I know a lot of people that was in there that didn't know anybody or have anybody on the outside to help them, and I know if I didn't have money on my books or nothing, it would have been a whole nother story.
So you were getting money in?
Yeah.
Through your family, mom and dad?
I had friends that were sending me money out there, and my mom was sending me what she could. Yeah.
So how do your parents feel about you being out here?
Well, my dad doesn't know. He passed away 10 years ago.
Okay, sorry.
Overdosed. Thank you. Yeah.
Sorry to hear about that.
My mom, she really doesn't know either. She knows I live in Columbus, but I've been, lying to her because I don't want her to worry about me. And I tell her I have an apartment, so she doesn't really know.
So at least you got a husband out here, and since the men know you do have somebody with you, has it kept them away from you?
Yeah, oh yeah. They know him and they respect him, so they respect me also. They don't mess with me.
So have you seen a lot of abuse for the women out here?
Oh yeah. I've seen all kinds of shit, man. I've got friends that they're like, I've got a friend that's disabled, and her old man fight all the time, and she can barely walk, and he's already dragging her around everywhere. It's crazy. I've got a lot of friends that, I know a friend of mine, her boyfriend shot her in the arm. They were fighting over money, so
So winter time's coming up. How's that going to be for you out here?
Well, like everybody else, I'm trying to not be here in the winter, but I mean, I know the reality of that. It's highly likely that I will be. So I really don't have any way to prepare for that. But
so do you panhandle during the day?
I usually don't panhandle. My husband, he usually just hustles around and gets money. He takes care of me. I don't have to do that right now. I have before, though.
So when you were growing up, did you ever think you would experience what you're going through now?
No way. I never thought. No, when I was growing up, I just assumed I would have a house, a car, money, job, normal.
What did you want to be when you was a kid?
I wanted to be a nurse, and I did become a nurse, but it just didn't last long enough. I also became a felon. You can't be both.
So is there an injury that had happened that had sent you to do what you did by using?
Yeah, actually, I used a lot when I was a kid just because I thought it was cool, whatever, I just wanted to try everything. And I actually got in a car accident when fresh out of high school, and they gave me, more pain pills than 3 people needed, and they gave them to me for a long time, and then when they just finally stopped giving them to you, there's nothing there to turn to except for, self-medicating drugs.
So have you had any attempts to get help?
Yeah, actually, when I didn't check, I never was checking in with probation, so I would get warrants. So every time they'd get me, they'd put me in jail for a while. And one of the times they put me in a rehab, it wasn't, the one particular rehab that they put me in wasn't for me really, but so I left, and they never gave me another opportunity for that. And most people don't really go on their own, so that was about the only shot I've had at rehab. So
in and out of jail is what's kept you sober the times you have?
Alive, probably. Nobody wants to go to jail, and when I have warrants out here, I never want to go to jail, but when I'm there and I've been there for a while, I'm usually thankful that it's a few times I know it kept me alive.
So how many people have you seen pass away since you've been out here?
I can't even tell you. I don't even know.
And what do they do with them? What do they do with them when you guys have to call it in when you guys find someone passed?
Well, we just don't see them again,
I mean, but when they come and get their body, is there like burials for any of the people or cremation?
Not that I've seen. I don't know none of us really hear nothing else about them again because their families ain't out here asking us to go to a funeral or, and
right.
A lot of them don't have families, so, you just never hear nothing else of them again.
So I'm going to throw this on YouTube. You're okay with that?
Yes.
So, and also with the winter coming up, what are your plans to deal with it?
Honestly, we're going to try to get a car because it's cheaper than trying to get a house. So, for right now, anyhow. That's really all we can really do. We can't really do a whole lot.
So anybody who will watch this, would you have anything to say about it to where they want to maybe have to go through this when they experience like what not to do?
The only thing I can say to anybody is if you're out here and you're on the streets or you've been on the streets, just even if it's something small, just help somebody else. Like if you just see somebody who needs help them. A lot of people, you'd think the homeless community would stick together a lot more than they do, but they really don't, and they steal from each other, and they rob each other daily, and it's like, I just think if everybody just helped a couple people a day, instead of doing the complete opposite, it would be a whole lot different out here.
Okay, well, that's pretty much it for this, and I really appreciate you talking to me, and I hope you stay warm this winter. I mean, I know it's the hardest time of being homeless is coming up with the cold.
It just started getting cold out, so.
Right, and then one day it's not, then you're having to walk around, you start getting sick, you start not feeling good.
Warm clothes when you gotta keep getting. I've probably had all of my entire belongings stolen from me like at least 10 times this summer, so like I have to start completely over. Shoes, clothes, everything,
So there's really no point of ever having anything nice either.
No,
When
I
you-
got to the point where I don't even want anything nice anymore because it's like it's just gonna be for someone else. So I don't get attached to anything anymore because everything I get, you know, it either gets stolen.
If you ain't got it with you through the
Yeah,
whole day.
I have a backpack. Everything that's important to me is in my backpack, and if it's not, then it's highly likely to get stolen. If it hasn't, it will soon. It's just the way it is out here.
Well, Megan, I appreciate you talking to me, and I do wish you the best. And
Thank you.
I hope you stay safe and warm, and I mean that.
Me too.
And I will do an update
Appreciate
with
it.
you. I'm sure I'll see you out here.
I'll be out here.
Thank you, Megan.
You're welcome.
Have a nice night.
You too.